Hey, how's it going? Um, I was gonna say, I know it's been a couple of days, and I know I say that a lot, but I was actually out of town for pretty much this entire weekend. Uh, it is now what, Wednesday, I think. Yeah. So I've taken a little too much time to upload this. I probably should have done it, the day I got back, but whatever. Um, yeah, I went to an organizational meeting in Vegas over the weekend, and honestly, I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and honestly, it was a great experience that I genuinely needed. Like, knowledge overload basically, as well as like emotional like gas, because I've definitely been needing a little bit of a refuel of the tank, if that makes sense. Um, I'll say as much as I can, because to a certain level, it's all like proprietary stuff. But yeah, I was gonna say, basically, like I ended up driving out there. I guess to start up the whole thing, I ended up getting money for the tickets because the tickets, cost money. They gotta be able to buy out these large places and whatnot, especially in Vegas. Um, and Yeah, so I got the money from birthday money, I guess. People just, giving me whatever they can, and I appreciated it a lot because I had no idea how the hell I was going to get the ticket money, seeing as how I'm still, struggling a little bit. But yeah, as I say, I managed to get the money, and then a little extra from, you know, just who else. Uh, and I basically used that to pretty much just coast me while I was there. Pay for like my half of the Airbnb or wherever we were staying at the time, and then my half of gas. So I drove up there with a different person that I drove up with than I did last time, um, which was honestly nice. It was just me and him, and we just kind of shared stories back and forth, which was kind of interesting. I get to learn a lot about him. Without prying too much into like super deep personal stuff or whatever, because it's not really like a professional thing to do in that kind of environment, I guess. Like we were just two dudes basically just chilling on a road trip. Basically, that was it. Um, but yeah. So on the way there, we already had an Airbnb like set up and ready to go, right? Literally like hours before we're supposed to check in, she texts the guy who is dealing with the whole thing, and she's like, "Yeah, sorry, a water main broke and the entire apartment's flood, or the apartment's flooding. So I'm gonna have to cancel the B&B and refund your money." So that happened. Um, so basically, we get to Vegas, and we didn't really have any time anyway to stop at the place and change or anything like that. So we just like literally changed in the parking lot into professional attire and whatnot. Um, of In the parking lot of the convention center. It was the something in Mac convention center. Wa- Wallace and Mac. I don't know. I think it was Wallace and Mac. But yeah. So we basically just did that, changed in the parking lot, and then rushed inside to get there on time. Basically, the entire time we essentially had what I like to refer to as nosebleed seats. We were close enough that if we stood up, we could likely touch the ceiling in a gigantic convention center. Um, but hey, whatever. They have big screens and whatnot. It's not like it's a huge issue, and you can hear everybody. So, um, yeah. So the entire time we're like you know, uh, in this meeting, they're trying to figure out the situation with where we're staying. And another buddy we're traveling with uh, is like, hey, I've got a friend who lives in Vegas. He's a little far from the center, but I can see if he has a place that we could, crash at for a couple of nights. And thankfully, he came through. Um, it was a little pricier to, pay him than the Airbnb, but it's whatever. Um, I think originally each of our shares would have been like $30, and it ended up being like 60 something, 70 something um, per person. So, and there was six of us. So, you know. But regardless, we made it out there. We got a place to stay. Transportation was fine. Um, we took two cars. Like I said, I was with one guy, and everybody else was with the other guy, the guy who was organizing the Airbnb. And unfortunately, they got a flat, like a nail. The head of the nail went through their tire, so they had to like stop and like get like a fix a flat kit or whatever. And yeah, they ended up being like 2 hours behind, which sucked. But you know, shit happens. Um, on our way up there, I got super excited because we were passing through uh, some city starting with a B. I don't remember the name of it. Um, but yeah, we were stopping by there, to kind of just get food and whatever, just stop and stretch your legs. And we stopped by Arby's, and I got super excited because I like Arby's. I believe I've mentioned. Uh, we were kind of just chilling there for a little bit, stopped and talked for a few minutes while we ate and hung out, and then we were just back on the road. We actually get back. We get to the actual convention center and everything like that, and it was an amazing meeting. Like inspirational, funny at times, uh, tear jerking at others. Just a lot of people like kind of telling some of their story of like their struggles in life and everything like that, and how they used what we have to offer to overcome, and yeah, just living their best life. Um, but yeah, also giving like genuine advice as to how to uh, do things better in your business than you might be doing. I guess I don't know. Just giving people advice. It's not a hard thing to do. It's just it's tedious. It takes time. It's like God, what the hell's the name of that kind of graph? Basically, it's like an upward slope. It's like when you're on like just starting out, you're basically flatline. You're just coasting along, and then you start to make that little bigger bit of progress, and you start going up, and then if you keep doing everything the right way, you'll just eventually take off, I guess. Yeah. We get back that night after the first meeting. I don't think there was any little bonus meetings, what we call night owls, that night. So yeah, I think we just went right back to the place where you're staying, set up everything. I was honestly super thankful that before this whole trip, I bought an air mattress with like a pump kit and everything. I brought my own pillow and blanket because when we got there, he had no spare mattresses, no extra pillows or blankets. So I was honestly super glad that I was actually prepared for something like this because I don't want to sleep on the floor in the desert. So I know there's way too many creepy crawlies out there. Um, but yeah, it was nice. It was a house of a bunch of gamer dudes who uh, they were nice guys. Honestly, like I really enjoyed talking to some of them for the little bit of time that I did. Um, Yeah, just honestly like wholesome dudes. Um, yeah, we get to the convention center the next day, and it was the longest day of all of them. Like, fucking, we were there from 10 to 10 a.m. to 11 at night, I think. Yeah, that one went on for a while. But it was nice, in between we got to, go out and like just have like a lunch break. We had a little night owl uh, talk, I guess, with our personal little group. And it was honestly like, it was emotional, It was nice, but it was, emotional. Uh, I don't think I can possibly express how thankful I am for the people that I have around me. The people I have, you know, who came before me and are teaching me, what they know. Uh, let's see. Basically, during that whole thing, though, I'd been starving, I guess. So I picked up like a gigantic soft pretzel because it was a convention center where they typically play black basketball and stuff. So the concession stands were open, and I took advantage. So I didn't splurge or anything like that. I bought what I knew would make me full for a while. Um, Something shitty though about the first day. I'm gonna go back to that for a second. Um, I unfortunately, like on our way out, I ended up having a small seizure in a rather large crowd. Basically, we got outside uh, the fucking Wally and Mac or whatever, and we're right on top of where the staircases are that lead down to the parking lots. And the people I'm with decide to stop for whatever reason. They were talking to somebody, and I was trying to take my mind off of everything and like listen and pay attention and whatever without being weird. I really wanted to just head back to the place so we can sleep. Um, but yeah, I don't know what happened. Uh, it felt like a few minutes went by, and I just ended up falling over, and I hit my head a good couple of times. It's still kind of yellow, like right here, but the bruising's mostly gone. I didn't break skin or anything like that, which is a good thing. Um, and something that was nice was the people that I was with. Um, Mainly this guy Troy. He basically like as soon as I went down, like he basically just like was trying to make sure I was good. The entire time I was convulsing on the ground or whatever. He was like, you're stronger than this. You could beat this. You could fight this. You're stronger than this. You got this. You got this. And I was just like, the shitty thing is like with my type of seizures, you're conscious the entire time, which is I don't know. I've never had like epileptic seizures, but in my opinion, I think it's probably a little more terrifying to be conscious the entire time it's going on because your entire body's doing something you can't control. You have absolutely no control over the situation, and you can't move or convey anything. Um, so usually it's terrifying because people look at me like I have some kind of disease, and they fucking just clear an area and everything like that. Granted, I don't want to be crowded when that's happening anyway. Um, Instead, uh, Troy, like he helped out, like he was doing what he can to, try to make sure that I was calm, that I was in my own head, that I wasn't in my own head, that I was, you know, able to come out of it a lot easier. And then, thankfully, after that, EMTs that are actually part of the convention center, not hospital or not like ambulance, um, showed up real quick. They took me back to a little like medical room that they have for like emergency type things. And they looked me over, asked if this is a regular thing. I told them the situation when I was able to talk at least. Um, and yeah, I'd say it's probably one of the shorter seizures that I've had in public, which is a sad thing to say at all. But yeah. Um, Yeah, past that though, every single day after that went off without a hitch. Um, it's not really a whole lot that I can really say after that. It was a good trip. It was a really good trip. We didn't do anything terribly exciting in Vegas because, well, Vegas isn't really an exciting place in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I've never understood the idea of like people going out and like throwing away money because a screen is lighting up. And then again, I realize now that I say that I play fucking video games and whatnot, and I used to sink fucking shitloads of money into that, so I can't exactly be hypocritical, but I'm going to be. I don't know. It just seems like you can lose so much more money that way. Yeah, there's a chance of winning money and everything like that, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, we ended up doing a night owl again at a food court in one of the smaller ish casino things. I think it was a casino. I'm not really sure what it was. Um, but yeah, it was nice. I got to hang out with one of the guys who came before me, and I was honestly just happily listening to everything he said. Um, just enjoying every little bit of it, just soaking in and taking notes. Um, yeah, and then it was over, and we had to drive back. Drive back was about the same, uh, pretty easy, no hitches here and there. I told the guy that I drove to Vegas with, me and him, drove there and back. I was talking to him the entire time, and I was just, telling him like fun little things that have happened here, here and there, and like life story wise, and it was nice to be able to just kind of sit and talk with somebody new that I've kind of vaguely known the entire time I've been involved in this, but I haven't really gotten to know him too well, and I'm happy that I got the opportunity. So yeah, overall, my Vegas trip and meeting were great. Honestly, fucking great. Like I I don't know if it could have gone better. Uh, it's funny. One of the leaders talks about. I say leaders. He's just a guy that came before me. He's done better in the business than I have, and he's been doing it for fuck, what 60 odd years or something like that. I have no idea, but he's been doing it for a long time. He was talking about how every single time they put on one of these big major functions, they seem to just get better and better. And so far, I've only been to two, unfortunately, but they yeah, they do seem to just get better and better because it helps you kind of like instill that little bit of belief that you kind of need, in yourself, in, you know, the viability of something like this. I got to watch a bunch of people who uh, I knew, some of them when they first started in business, and some of them I knew like where they were at roughly. I got to watch them walk across stage and, like, I guess the best way to say it is like receive promotions, but not really. Like, it's promotions based on merit, they earned it. They are just being given a title essentially to reflect said effort. Um, but yeah, it was nice, honestly. Like seeing these people, some of which like I knew since they were at certain points in business, moving up. It actually kind of helps me validate the thought that what I'm doing is valid and that I can actually make a life for myself and build a fucking dream that I have gotten since I've been involved in this. So, yeah, I'm super excited about it. Um, I was gonna say since I've been back, I've been out and about, just trying to build a dream. I had a conversation today with some homeless lady who was like really optimistic about her situation. Uh, she was basically like uh, she was just like taking care of her dog. She was like camping outside like the baseball diamond that's out here, and yeah, I basically, was like, hey, so, you just camping under the stars or something? And she's like, nah, I live out here. And I was like, well, hey, it's got the best view in the house. Um, and I started talking with her, and I gave her my phone number and everything like that, and told her if she's interested in something like, mentorship, then, she can, hit me up. Um, and yeah, that was pretty much it. She seems like good people. I feel like she's by the end of the conversation, uh, some guy had showed up, and I feel like they were doing some sort of a drug exchange. But I'm not gonna go any further into that because I don't know all the details. So you know, I don't know what was going on. I don't want to know what was going on. The only thing that I can possibly say is I'm offering uh, a better life. That's it. Um, we have people in the business who come from, like, one of the things they preach is you can come from Yale or jail. And one of the guys, Maiko, he's hilarious about that. Like, he was actually, like, um, arrested, I think more than once, maybe, but I'm not 100%. I know he was at least arrested once. And over the weekend, they showed a picture of his mugshot while he was talking, and he's just like laughing about it the whole time. He's like, "Hey, to be fair, I did say Yale or jail." Uh, so you know where I'm coming from. Yeah, and he was like, there was like a video or whatever of him like driving with somebody else around his old neighborhood, and he's like, yeah, I used to be a street pharmacist over there. I got shot over there. And it's just like this guy came from such like a dark place, and he's here now. He's like he's on top of everything that you know he once was. He's so much further above it. There was another guy who was basically, he was homeless. He was building this whole thing homeless from a bus stop. He would sleep on the bus, like the bench, and he would go out and make connections and whatnot, and sales or whatever he need to do. And yeah, he's up there right with him too. And they're making fucking like decent money and living amazing lives, and I want that. I want it. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm just happy about it. I'm super stoked, fired up, and I'm ready to do this. So yeah, without further ado, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and call the video. Yeah, if you like whatever it is I do for whatever reason, uh, you know the drill. Every other YouTuber says it. Uh, you know, I keep saying that. I'll see you next time. Peace.